Welcome, Christina. This is Shirley Ringo, and I'm doing this little piece for AEB News, a new news channel. So today is an important day, International Women's Day, and so it's a wonderful time to meet women. And first time meeting you, and I'm so impressed and so appreciative. I'd love to know, what does this day mean for you?
Well, International Women's Day means something. It depends on where you are. For me, it's just an opportunity to shine the light on something that is visible every single day. I think the theme this year has to do with gender balance, and I'm a strong believer in not just, touting the efforts and the opportunities that women have taken advantage of, but also to show that we are taking a place alongside our male counterparts in a very constructive way. So today, this day is an opportunity to say gender balance, we're inclusive society, and that we have a bright future together, not one above the other.
So, Christina, do you think we lose anything? And I ask that question in the way of, there's a lot of stay-at-home moms who sometimes feel that if they choose that option, somehow that makes them less than the professional woman. If you could speak to that for a moment, that would be amazing.
Well, I've never been a stay-at-home mom, so it's very hard for me to talk from that perspective. I'd like to flip the question. As a working mother, I have two grown children now, but I think that the opposite is true for those of us who worked. We did miss a lot of opportunities to spend time with our children, and there was a sense of, yeah, you're helping to win finances and security for the family, but at the same time, God, what am I missing? And I would imagine that my counterparts that are in the opposite position, staying at home with their children, might be wondering what they're missing too. So it's a constant struggle. What I do see, back to my first point, is that fathers and or partners, depending on the family relationship, seem to be balancing out so that both have opportunities to both stay at home and work. You see it with greater paternity leave opportunities coming up for men, or if they're same-sex couples, that they're having family time or family leave to be able to spend with those children. I think this is huge progress, and I think it'll allow people to be all they can be at home and outside the home.
Thank you so much for that. One other question I have for you is, what I've noticed, being a mom, being a working mom, being from Canada, living in the United States of America, working with the US military, is that a lot of families still struggle with being able to provide financial aid for their children to go to universities. What do you think about the concept of free university?
Okay, a huge fan of that idea. I think education is investment, and as a nation, if we want to invest in our future, we need to invest in education for our people. A lot of times we are bringing in skill sets and knowledge and abilities from other countries that we could be growing at home. The cost of education is very minor compared to the rewards we can reap from it, as you can tell. So I'm a huge fan of free education all the way up to master's program even. I know that some countries do it. I know there are issues with those systems. But this is the United States, and we can figure things out. So we can use examples from our sister nations and push forward on that initiative. And I know that California, since we're in the state of California, currently does guarantee the first year of community college tuition free. And there's an initiative right now for second year for free. So I think that just removes so many barriers.
Thank you so much for that. It's really important. I'm hoping that that's going to change, because there's a lot of people I know that are really struggling with being able to have the money to go to school. And that should not be a barrier for our children, especially now that it is more important now than it has ever been in the history of time. You can't just have junior high in high school and think that you can be competitive in a world market. And that's where we're coming from now. So when you look out there as a woman at the world, what is the most significant change you see?
That's a big question. Again, I think I want to go back to the International Women's Day theme. I do see a lot of hope in girls getting more education. I know there are challenges across the board, but everybody always leans back on the economic argument, but I think it's more than that. I think it elevates humanity. It elevates society when everyone has the opportunity to learn, and not just for economic reasons. Degrees, not just for degrees, but for knowledge, for critical thinking skills, for being able to question the paradigms put before you. This is how all great change and all progress starts. And if you don't have education as a base, you're basically without weapons for the world.
That was it. Thank you so much. That was just amazing. I'm hoping that we will see those changes now and in the future. So it's been a pleasure and an honor to meet you and speak with you, and happy International Women's Day.
You too. Thank you.